If you have passed the age of 60 and suspect your legs aren't quite as sturdy as they once were, then this is undoubtedly the most critical video you'll view all year. Imagine the scene. You are ascending the staircase to your bedroom, but halfway up, a burning sensation grips your thighs. Your knees feel unstable. You find yourself gripping the handrail with a white-knuckled intensity you never needed before. Does that resonate? Here is the reality your physician likely omitted. Once you cross the threshold of 60, your body begins shedding up to 3% of its leg muscle mass annually. This isn't just an arbitrary statistic. A landmark investigation published in the Journal of Gerontology monitored 1,880 adults over the age of 60 for a 5-year period and uncovered a startling truth. Those who suffered from a loss of leg strength faced a staggering 287% increased likelihood of requiring a walker or wheelchair in the subsequent decade. However, here is the silver lining. Those very same researchers determined that executing just 3 specific movements, if done with proper form, can actually reverse this muscular decay by up to 40% in a mere 12 weeks. You don't need a gym membership or expensive machinery, just your own body and perhaps a chair. The final movement in this trilogy is so potent that orthopedic surgeons at Johns Hopkins have begun prescribing it as an alternative to knee surgery for select patients. Remarkably, 70% of those patients eventually canceled their scheduled operations after just 8 weeks because their leg stability recovered so profoundly that the surgery became unnecessary. Before we dive in, please take a moment to comment below with your age and the city you are tuning in from. We make it a point to read and respond to every single message. Now, let's get straight to work. Number 3, wall sits. Let's begin with an exercise that appears deceptively easy. Wall sits might look like you're simply lounging against a wall, but internally, your muscles are undergoing transformation. When you hold a wall sit, you are igniting every single fiber in your quadriceps, the massive muscles on the front of your thighs. Simultaneously, you are engaging your glutes, hamstrings, and the critical microstabilizer muscles surrounding the knee that standard exercises often neglect. What makes this unique is the type of stress it applies. Unlike dynamic squats that grind the knee joints, wall sits generate what physical therapists term isometric tension. This means your muscles are exerting maximum force while the joints remain stationary. A study out of the European Journal of Applied Physiology examined 65 adults over 60 and found that those performing wall sits thrice weekly boosted their leg strength by 31% in only 8 weeks. Even more notable, their balance scores jumped by 23%, a factor that directly reduces fall risk and enhances daily stability. To execute a perfect wall sit, locate a blank section of wall and press your back flat against it. Place your feet shoulder-width apart, stepped out about 2 feet from the baseboard. Now, here is the secret sauce most people ignore. Before you descend, brace your core as if anticipating a punch to the gut. This guards your lumbar spine and doubles the movement's efficacy. Gradually slide down until your thighs are parallel with the ground, forming a 90-degree angle at the knee. If that depth is too intense initially, pause at 45 degrees and aim deeper over time. Ensure your knees are stacked directly over your ankles, never drifting forward past your toes. Drive your entire spine into the wall, ensuring the lower back doesn't peel away. Hold this static position for 20 seconds initially. It sounds trivial, but those final 5 seconds will feel incredibly long. The trick to optimizing the wall sit is your breathing rhythm. Most individuals hold their breath, starving the muscles of oxygen and accelerating fatigue. Instead, inhale and exhale deeply through the nose on a 4-second count. This respiratory technique has been shown to extend hold times by an average of 35%. Sports science suggests that as you gain resilience, you should add 5 seconds to your time each week, aiming for a 60-second hold. Once you master the minute, attempt lifting one heel slightly for 5 seconds, then alternate. This variation fires up the smaller stabilizers that protect against ankle twists. Ideally, perform these in the morning when muscles are fresh. Research indicates morning exercise consistency is 45% higher in the over 60 demographic. Now, let's transition to a movement that may surprise you with its utility. Before we proceed, if you're finding value in this content, please click the like button so the algorithm shows this to more seniors, and subscribe. We release powerful health tips for seniors daily, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 2, Step UPS. This next exercise is the gold standard assessment used by rehabilitation centers globally to gauge leg function. Step-ups replicate the essential mechanics of climbing stairs, entering vehicles, and navigating curbs. But their true power is backed by data. A team at the University of Sydney monitored 420 seniors and found that those capable of completing 15 continuous step-ups had an 82% reduced risk of mobility failure 5 years down the line. The genius of a step-up is that it is a unilateral exercise, meaning it trains one leg independently. This is vital because we all possess a dominant side. Standard movements like squats allow the stronger leg to carry the weaker one. Step-ups force each limb to pull its own weight, correcting the muscle imbalances that often result in hip issues and knee agony. Begin by locating a stable step or platform, roughly 6 to 8 inches high. If your balance is a concern, set up near a wall or railing for security. Face the step with feet hip-width apart. Technique is everything here. Plant your right foot entirely on the step. Ensure the heel is grounded, not hanging off. This is non-negotiable because driving through the full foot engages 40% more muscle fiber than pushing from the toes. Drive downward through your right heel to hoist your body upward. Resist the urge to cheat by launching yourself off the back leg. The leg on the step must do the heavy lifting. Once you are up, slowly lower yourself back to the floor, taking a full 3 seconds to descend. This eccentric lowering phase is where the true strengthening occurs. Your muscles must fight gravity to break your body weight. The most common error is speed. Rushing destroys the benefits. A biomechanics study from Melbourne revealed that slowing the descent to 3 seconds boosted muscle activation by 67% compared to rapid movement. Target 10 repetitions on the right, then switch to the left. If 10 feels effortless, do not increase the reps just yet. Instead, seek a higher step. Raising the height by a mere 2 inches spikes the difficulty by 30%. Your long-term goal is a step height that brings your knee to 90 degrees. This range of motion builds strength through the complete functional pattern. For best results, do step-ups every other day, allowing a 48-hour window for muscle tissue to repair and fortify. On rest days, a casual 5-minute walk keeps blood circulating to the legs. This active recovery strategy reduces soreness by 40% and enhances strength gains by 25% compared to total inactivity. Watch your knee alignment closely. It should track over your second toe, never collapsing inward. That inward wobble is a precursor to pain, and our goal is to eliminate pain, not manufacture it. Now, we arrive at the game changer that surgeons are actively endorsing. Number 1, single leg stands. This is the one. The movement that doctors at Johns Hopkins favor over the scalpel. The single leg stand may appear too basic to be crowned the most important exercise, but the underlying science is astounding. Merely standing on one leg recruits 73 distinct muscles simultaneously to maintain verticality. Contrast that with walking, which engages only about 20 muscles at any given moment. A pivotal study in the British Medical Journal tracked 1,700 adults over the age of 60 for a decade. The findings were sobering. Those unable to balance on one leg for 10 seconds faced an 84% higher risk of all-cause mortality in the following 10 years. Let that register. Your capacity to balance on one foot is a legitimate forecaster of your lifespan. However, the reason this takes the top spot is its versatility. It is the sole exercise that simultaneously enhances strength, coordination, balance, and bone density. The vertical load through the leg bones stimulates osteoblasts, cells responsible for creating new bone. The American Journal of Medicine reported that seniors practicing this for 5 minutes daily boosted hip bone density by 2.1% in 6 months. That effectively reverses 3 years of age-related bone decay. Furthermore, the muscles surrounding the ankle, knee, and hip work over time, generating proprioceptive feedback. This is your brain's radar for knowing where your body is in space. Enhanced proprioception means fewer stumbles and falls. Here is the protocol for maximum impact. Stand near a solid counter or chair back. Keep your posture tall, feet hip width. Lift your right foot, raising the knee to 45 degrees. Do not aim for excessive height. Aim for absolute control. Keep the standing leg straight but soft. Never lock the knee joint. Lock your gaze on a specific, stationary point ahead of you. Visual fixation improves balance duration by 40%. Hold for 30 seconds, then swap legs. But here is where people plateau. They think hitting 30 seconds means they are finished. Incorrect. The real magic lies in progression. Once you master 30 seconds with eyes open, try closing them. This eliminates visual cues, forcing your vestibular system to work overdrive. A Japanese study noted that eyes closed training improved reaction times by 28%, essential for catching yourself during a trip. After mastering the eyes closed variation, attempt moving the raised leg forward and backward while balancing. This dynamic shift strengthens hip flexors and glutes across multiple planes. Timing is crucial. Perform these 3 times daily, upon waking, after lunch, and before bed. This greases the groove, allowing your nervous system to consolidate the skill. The evening session is particularly vital. It has been shown to reduce nighttime falls, especially during those midnight bathroom visits, by 45%. To supercharge your progress, use the advanced technique favored by physical therapists for elite seniors. While balancing, slowly rotate your head left to right, as if shaking your head no. This disrupts the vestibular system in the inner ear. The Cleveland Clinic found that adding head movement improved overall balance scores by 52% over the standard hold. You can also vary the surface. Move from hard floor to a rug, then a folded towel, and finally a foam pad. Each level of instability increases the challenge by roughly 30%, building reactive balance, your ability to handle uneven terrain. The link between this movement and the brain is fascinating. Researchers at Kyoto University scanned the brains of seniors before and after 3 months of this training. They discovered increased gray matter density in the hippocampus, the area governing memory. Participants also scored 18% higher on cognitive tests. Balancing quite literally builds your brain. This dual benefit is why neurologists suggest it to stave off both physical and mental decline. Let me share a final piece of motivation. A Boston physical therapy clinic tracked 200 patients over 60 who committed to this triad of exercises. After 3 months, 68% could ascend stairs without the railing. 74% found rising from a chair noticeably easier. Most significantly, 43% reported that their chronic knee pain had diminished or vanished. These weren't athletes. They were everyday people who invested 15 minutes a day. The clinic director observed that many patients canceled knee replacement consultations because they no longer met the criteria for surgery. Remember, the sequence matters. Start with wall sits to prime the nervous system. Follow with step UPS to build functional power. Finish with single leg stands to integrate balance when the muscles are slightly fatigued, mimicking real-world stress. This routine takes 15 minutes and should be done 3 times a week with rest days in between. Consistency trumps intensity. You're better off giving 70% effort 3 times a week for months than 100% effort once a week. Keep a journal. Record your wall sit times, step up reps, and balance duration. Seeing those numbers climb is powerful fuel. Most people feel the difference in 2 weeks and see major changes by week 6. You aren't just training your legs. You're investing in your freedom, your autonomy, and your ability to live without boundaries. These 3 movements are the dividing line between needing assistance and being the one who provides it. Start today. Start small. But above all, start. Your future self will be grateful for every rep. Now, we want to hear from you. What daily task has become more difficult lately? Is it the stairs, standing up from the sofa, or maintaining steadiness? If you are over 60, when did you first realize your strength was fading? Share your story in the comments below. We would love to read them. Thanks for watching.